What's up, gang, and welcome to the newest season of Zero Chucks Given. Things look a little bit different. I look a little bit different. It's been a while, and I apologize for that. I took a winter hiatus where I thought I was just going to be gone from, December to January, the holidays, take that off. And it ended up being like 3 months. I had to do a lot of soul searching, y'all. I went so hard on trying to get like 100K in December. I was creating multiple videos a day, coming out with the podcast. And like I said in the last video, which I'll circle back to, because I know a lot of you guys probably forgotten that, I said I was going to transition, trendy word. I was going to transition from being a long format podcast to a more like a content like creator kind of thing, where it's not just a podcast weekly for 60 minutes. It was going to be shorts. It was going to be a long podcast, maybe a short podcast. It might be every week. It might be every 2 weeks, but I would be putting out more reels because the reels were what was working. And it's been a while. So talking is going to be a little bit of a learning how to ride a bike situation. But once I took that break, January came and went and work picked up like crazy. I've never been busier. I've never been more successful. I've never been more famous, and I've never been more appreciated. And I was like, you know what? I'll be back in February. Let me get through some of these shoots and projects. Well, March came around. I was still blowing up. And dude, I was like, when am I ever going to be able to get to these podcasts? When am I going to be able to do these reels that people love? I was getting blown up so often about where's the podcast? And I didn't want to come across like a loser who gave up. That was like the opposite of the situation. I didn't stop because, things weren't going well. Things were going very well. The page was exploding. I was a viral sensation. I was a YouTube star. But the break I was going to take became a lot longer than I thought, and work picked up. And guys, you got to pay the bills, man. You don't want to be homeless. So I had to put being a father into priority. Me being a brandly new father. You got to be able to take care of your children, plural. But long story short, I'm back. I was able to finally catch up on things. I was able to knock out projects, space them out, and kind of give myself a little bit of breathing room. Enough breathing room to start a new studio. As you can tell, this looks very different than what I used to. I wanted to do something to where I can kind of get in front of the camera, press record, and go. Yes, the other podcast, the version 1.0, looked great. It was very cinematic. It was awesome, but it was kind of like I was more worried about these angles and making it all look good rather than like what I'm giving you guys. So instead of just focusing what I'm talking about, I had to worry about, angles and all that stuff. And if I wasn't going to do the podcast as often as I used to, I wanted to kind of create a little bit more of a theme with what I was doing with the reels. So why not kind of merge those two things? The podcast, the reels, bring them to one. Nuclear family, because that is the best way to create things and raise things and let them blossom into something good and not a stupid child criminal. You need a father and you need a mother. Very specific and important ingredients: father, mother, and you might end up with a really good child. And that's what I'm hoping for this page. That the father being the bigger, more bold and brave, which would be the podcast, and the female, the mother, would be the smaller, lighter, yet influential figure, which would be the reels. So you put them together and boom, we got what we have right here. So it's good to be back. I know it's going to be amazing news for a lot of you guys. I know a lot of you guys were dealing with depression and not sure what to do with your life since I took a break. I didn't really give you guys an answer. I kind of just went away and I didn't know when I was going to come back. Well, baby, I'm back. Like Britney Spears said. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to get right into our first topic and get back into like how it used to be. Today, we're going to talk about two topics that are very close to my heart and something that I'm very invested in, financially and emotionally. The first one we're going to talk about today is who is allowed to wear Carhartt. I've been seeing posts about from other podcasts and pages talking about how, these people that aren't Carhartt lifestyle people are wearing a working man's brand as some sort of hipster lifestyle, whatever. And, when you Google, Carhartt beanie, you see like photos of like female wedding photographers and like writers for Vice, those types. And that is not what Carhartt's about, man. Like, you can't wear Carhartt, sister. It's as simple as that. And there's a lot of F-boys that do it too. There's a lot of like woke, liberal female wedding photographers that wear it. And it wasn't made for you guys. It was made for people like me, and my fellow like working mans, like construction worker guys. If you're not slinging concrete and gravel and brick and rebar and framing like 80 hours a week, it's not for you. That's why the only time you ever see them wearing it is with the beanie, because if you actually try to wear one of those shirts, they're very unflattering. And I know for these like baristas and people that write blogs, that stuff doesn't work for you. That's why they're stuck with the beanie. And they're kind of like homeborn terrorists. They've taken something that was meant for like hardworking middle class people. A lot of these guys are lower class because they're getting R-word by the big rich men that are barely paying them. People at McDonald's want $20 an hour, while these guys are breaking their backs and killing themselves for $10 an hour. They've taken that, they've kind of appropriated that and made it into some sort of like, woke, like, what's the word? Like an Antifa symbol. Because the only people that wear Carhartt that aren't actual workers are usually people complaining about Donald Trump, and they probably love sending money to the Ukraine. They're that kind of people, which is kind of disgusting. It makes me sick coming from, the working class, community that I'm from. It's kind of disgusting because I know a lot of brethrens out there that are, falling apart, never got to see their family, missing football games and baseball games because they're working 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week, 7 days a week. They never get to see their family because they have to put food on the table. While the chick who's wearing a bright orange Carhartt hat is asking if there's any vegan options at a local restaurant. So hopefully this trend ends, because those female wedding photographer types, they're kind of like parasites, and they suck it dry and then move on. So hopefully the Carhartt trend kind of dissipates and they go ahead and move over to the next thing they're gonna ruin. Because leave my Carhartt alone. It's not yours, it's mine and my fellow construction workers. That's a warning to y'all. Last topic, I'm gonna keep it short this week. The last topic today is something that I've been wanting to talk about for the last few months. It's about, like I said, something that I'm highly invested in emotionally, financially, blood. And while my page has been MIA, I haven't been able to speak my truth and talk about something that's been happening. So it's not like the most up-to-date trendy topic, but since it's so influential to my page, I definitely have to talk about it. If you remember, I think it was episode 1. It was kind of what this whole podcast was built upon, was about me defending my brother, Kanye West, Ye. And it was more of kind of analyzing, because PC cancel culture, whatever I said, they would try to cancel me. So I couldn't really say everything I wanted during the first episode. But one thing I did say in that first episode, you can bring up the tape because I'm going to be vindicated. Bring that up. Bring that footage up from episode number 1.
He'll come home. I think he'll be back.
What did I say? I said, when everything was falling apart and the most evil person in the world was Kanye West, I said, I feel like Adidas and Kanye West are going to come back together eventually. And boom, what happened? The 1 in a million % chance odds, Florida lottery. Breaking news. Adidas and Kanye cut a deal to finish out his deal to get the rest of the shoes out. And I know what everyone's saying, all these haters out there saying, well, that's just a deal to get Kanye West his merchandise out, so Adidas is not taking such a hit with it. My counter offer to that is, if Kanye West is so evil and so volatile, why would a company like Adidas cut a deal and give him whatever amount of money to get his shoes out? If they were so woke and he was so evil, they would have just ate that money. It was $500 million or whatever. They'll make that back with a Bad Bunny collection or whatever, or selling some like soccer jerseys. They can make that money back. As much as these fools were saying that Adidas was going to go out of business, they're not going to go out of business. They just have to sponsor another big soccer team and they'll make all their money back. That's Adidas cutting a deal with Kanye was a symbol that every person can be forgiven, because Jesus Christ forgave a certain group of people about killing him. So Adidas is kind of doing the same thing. Adidas is forgiving Kanye and trying to understand where he's coming from. Because if they were willing to cut a deal to release the final batch of shoes, that means they're willing enough to work with him. And if they're willing to work with him, there's gonna be some more Yeezys out. So, boom. My crazy projection, my prediction, and my whatever you would want to call it, came true. In the lowest of lows for me and Kanye and our family, I believe, maybe it was through prayer, maybe I prayed it and it came true, because if you have God on your side, no one can really F with me. And I guess me and Kanye being good believers, we made a comeback. So to all those naysayers out there that said, no, it's never gonna happen, Adidas is gonna go out of business. Do you think it's gonna go out of business? Oh, this is the end of it. Nah, man, it's just the start of it. We're back. We never went anywhere. We took a vacation. Kanye and Adidas took a little break. I took a little break from the podcast, and we're still here. So, besides that deal being made, and with Ye and Yeezy being so slow with things, I'd say within the next month or two, you'll hear something big. But we're on to something. You're seeing a lot of people come back that were on hiatus. Yeezy Mafia, the Confirmed app, all that stuff. It's gonna be very interesting. And a lot of you guys are gonna have to eat crow, and a lot of you guys are gonna have to apologize to me and Kanye. And we're willing to take your apologies because we're willing to forgive you as well, being good Christians and all. Like I said, I was going to keep it short, y'all. I didn't want to do another long podcast. I'm a little rusty. I didn't want to keep on talking and talking and talking. I appreciate everyone who turned back in, all the people that have been waiting for me to come back. It feels good. I kind of taking it easy, keeping it short, and trying out the background, trying out the cameras, audio. It's been like 3-4 months. So if it's not like perfect, give me a break. It's been a while. And the kind of talk about what I talked about in the last podcast, there's a chance that these podcasts aren't going to be weekly. They might be like every 2 weeks, but there's gonna be content created throughout. So it's not like I'm gonna be gone for 4 weeks again. You know, there might be a break where like this weekend, I probably can't film a podcast because I'm gonna be working on another mural. Being rich and successful, baby. It's kind of a burden, but I'm gonna have to wait on maybe the podcast comes out in a week and a half, 2 weeks. But there's gonna be reels. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. Budweiser, other things. Sam Smith, made him have our drama still. What a traitor. But if that doesn't get you hooked to stay tuned and subscribe and comment, I would love to hear your thoughts about Kanye West. I would love to hear your thoughts about, Carhartt. And if you're, one of these woke ass wedding photographers, hit me up. Tell me how I'm wrong and how you should be wearing my kind of freaking hardworking landscaper, construction worker, engineer hat. Okay? Let me know how you're in the right and I'm in the wrong. I would love to hear it. But to my fans, my loyal fans and friends, thank you again, and tune in whenever I come back. But it's all love and it's all appreciated, because without you, the Zero Chucks Given show wouldn't be anything. So I appreciate it. Mwah. And I'll see y'all soon. Bye.